Pau Cubarsy's performance with the Spanish national team has reminded everyone how good of a player he is because a lot of people have talked about his defending, and I think it's largely due to Hansi Flick's system. That's why he hasn't looked great in the last couple weeks. I've seen a lot of stuff against Cubarsí, and I don't think he's had that great of a start to the season, but I think that's largely due to Hansi Flick's system exposing center backs in too many 1v1 situations. There's too much ground to try and recover, and Cubarsí cannot do it on his own. Because this was a center back that was coming up against Kylian Mbappe at the age of 17 in the Champions League and putting in great performances and not really putting a foot wrong. And in Spain's game against Georgia, he put in a great performance and he looked very solid at the back, and that's completely different than what we've seen with Barcelona, and I think that's due to the system, again, that Hansi Flick is playing. It's less to do with Cubarsy's ability as a center back. And all of this stuff, barely putting a pass wrong, we're all used to that already. I mean, this is not surprising for Cubarsí. On the ball, he's one of the best center backs in the world already. But the thing that a lot of people talk about is his defending. But again, I just don't think that we can blame him for that. I don't think that we can really blame that many center backs at Barcelona. I think this is largely due to the system that Hansi Flick plays, and currently Barcelona are not able to outscore their opponents by that much, and that leaves the center backs very exposed. Because when you're so busy pressing very high up and there leaves so much space in behind, and Cubarsy's not like obviously the quickest defender, I don't think he's slow, but he has so much ground to try and recover against quick attackers, and it makes it so difficult because he's isolated so many times. And obviously, as a defense, you want your back four to be defending as a unit, but we have not seen that at all this season. We didn't really see it much last season, but Barcelona's attack was so good offensively last year that they were able to kind of work around that, but this year it has not been the same. I know some people say he lacks experience, which is, I mean, obviously unsurprising because he's 18 years old. If you're starting an 18-year-old as a center back, you kind of have to expect those mistakes that he makes, and I think that's completely fair. I think in terms of prospects, he's one of the best center back prospects that I've ever seen. And yeah, you just have to hope that Hansi Flick can get this defense figured out because it's not working right now, and it's leaving the center backs way too isolated in way too many 1v1 situations, and they're just not able to do it by themselves.